and welcome to this special edition of Trader Talk TV coming from Dmexco. Today we have Irv from StickyAds. Irv, how are you doing?
Good morning, Kieran. I'm doing well, and you?
I'm very well. So we're talking to StickyAds today about their product and where they sit in the ecosystem. So for people who are not aware of StickyAds, Irv, just give us an overview of what you guys do and where you sit in the ecosystem.
Sure. So we're we develop a software for publishers, and we help publishers run their own exchange.
Yeah.
So we're on the sell side, and only on the sell side. We don't deal with demand at all. We like to think we're an SSP 2.0.
Okay.
That means we basically want to give the control back to the publishers and eliminate all the middlemen who take all the margin between the pubs and the advertisers, and give that margin back to the publisher. So
there's been a raft of M&A activity in the video space, programmatic video space over the last 12, 24 months. We've seen Brightroll acquired, we've seen Spot Exchange acquired, and they've been acquired by very, very large media companies. I'm just interested to talk about you guys, because in the European context and the global context, you're still independent. And how important is that sort of when you work with the publishers you work with?
Well, being independent is very important because publishers want to make sure that there's no BS going on between the sell side and the buy side. Being independent is also a great opportunity for us to go global, and that's why we're going to the US this year. I actually moved to New York 2 weeks ago because we think there's a great market to capture there. The fact that big players now belong to major medias also creates an opportunity for us.
Okay, so let's talk about the publishers you work with. I mean, there's been a talk about the dearth of good video, programmatic video inventory in the market because, it's consolidated among a lot of TV content providers. So what kind of publishers would you work with across Europe? Just give them an idea of what a typical publisher looks like.
Right, so we only target very premium publishers, and by this we have essentially three groups of publishers. TV broadcasters, print medias, and very premium video networks. So to name a few, in Europe we work with TF1 in France, M6, ProSiebenSat.1 in Germany, Viacom, and that's on the broadcasting side. For the print guys, we work with The Economist, Spiegel, and with large networks like High Media in Europe or ClipKit in Germany. So, and we're here in Germany, obviously, today. It's kind of interesting to get an overview of how the programmatic video market is sort of progressing, because obviously we do ATS Paris, and you've spoken of it before. It's a market that seems to be very, very much progressive in terms of this space. But let's talk about Germany, the UK, and other parts. How do you see those markets evolving? Let's talk specifically Germany firstly. So Germany is an interesting market. It's got a massive potential. The full potential has not released yet. We think it's on the verge of becoming really, really big. The turning point will be probably towards the end of this year, early next year.
What do you think that catalyst will be?
Germany is a supply-led market.
Yes, publishers are very strong in this market.
Yes, and the day the big publishers will actually embrace programmatic, it's going to go on fire, and that's happening now.
But what would the rationale for them to embrace programmatic? Is it increased revenue because the demand side can leverage data on top of their buys, or is it a case of bringing more new money into the market?
In Germany, the driver is one word: control.
Control, okay.
If you control your environment, you control who the buyers are, how you do business, on which terms, you win the battle.
That should be the strapline of Dmexco, all about control.
It's all about control.
And are you seeing publishers coming to you now and saying, if we want to build this out, this is a good opportunity for us, or is it a slow sort of evolution?
It's a gradual evolution, especially in Germany. It's a very tech-driven market. So first, publishers would dive in very deeply into the tech, understand what the tech brings in terms of benefits, and then they will, roll it out gradually.
And do you think the demand side's ready for this? I mean, the agencies, are they prepared to jump in?
They've been waiting.
Okay.
So the publisher have been pushing back, but now the publishers are ready. As I said, we want major publishers. I also need to mention OMS. So there is massive liquidity now, and I think that's why the market is just on the verge of booming.
And from a European perspective, the markets are very fragmented. I mean, you can look at France You look at Germany and even look at the UK.
Right.
Their TV markets are very, very different.
Yes.
Where, like, particularly UK, which has the BBC, which owns like 60% of the market, and there's Sky and there's Channel 4. It seems consolidated. How do you build a strategy around that? I mean, how do you approach this? I mean, is it with technology, or is it, are you sort of trying to evolve it market by market?
Right, so that's a very good question. Europe is not one market. It's a collection of very different markets with very different DNAs. To give you a very good example, one of our customers is Laplace Media.
Yes.
And they invented this concept of publisher cooperative.
Yes.
And that started from France, and we see that happening in different markets now. Our strategy is to build the most flexible product. Again, we're a software, and our software is meant to be as flexible as the publisher needs are.
Yeah.
So you need to think of what we do, like Salesforce.com.
Yeah.
When you buy Salesforce, there's nothing you can do with it. You need to set it up based on your needs. Well, that's exactly who we are.
Yeah.
So the tool is extremely flexible. Then the sales strategy will differ from one market to another.
Yeah.
So in some markets we may go after the print guys first with outstream units.
Yeah.
In other markets it might be the TV broadcasters first.
Yeah.
So it highly depends on the market strategy.
Yeah. Let's talk about your new product as well, StickyAds Direct, is that right?
Yes, Sticky Direct.
So Sticky Direct, actually, sorry. So how does that work? What's that all about?
So Sticky Direct is actually here to fill a gap. The programmatic is a good connection between the supply and the demand. It's all about plumbing, really.
Yes.
And it's really much an order fulfillment tool.
Yeah.
What publishers really lack is a promotional tool to promote their sales offerings to the buyers in an automated fashion, especially in video.
Okay.
So Sticky Direct is actually coming from the upfront TV world.
Right. So it's like a UI. You go and you look at what's available on various sites, and you offer the price, and then your ad server pushes it through.
It's a marketing tool for publishers to promote their sales packages.
Okay.
And that can be done in an automated fashion. And yes, it's a nice looking UI that allows them to put together sales packages with nice graphics, nice design.
And will that be integrated into the DSPs or ad servers that can see it? Or
so it's an extra layer that sits on top of the SSP and the DSP.
Yeah.
What it does, it generates a deal ID.
Yeah.
And then the buyer would basically stick that deal ID into the DSP, and that you're good to go.
And have you rolled it out? Are you rolling it out this week?
It's the announcement now.
Okay.
We have already live customer. We have German customers on it, British customers and French customers on it today.
And it's been designed specifically for the control factor, that ability to kind of...
So it's primarily a sales tool. It's meant to, in the programmatic direct world, you still have a sales guy who engage with the buy side. Yeah. And that guy will use a PowerPoint with a media kit on it. Yeah. Essentially, the goal of Sticky Direct is to translate this PowerPoint, this media kit, into a nice UI. Yeah. And whenever the sales guy is on a sales call with the buyer, you just use that tool. It's always up to date, and the buyers can actually execute the buy directly. Yeah.
And finally, you obviously moved to the US. How is the business translating from building out and scaling in Europe into the US?
Yeah, so today we're actually announcing the second major news. We'll be announcing a partnership with Freewheel. Okay. And Freewheel is the major video ad server for broadcasters. Yeah. And
so an integration. Effectively, yeah, okay.
And there is a great DNA match. They're software only, they're publisher only. Yeah. They're strong with broadcasters, we are strong with broadcasters. Yeah. So we speak the same language, and originally we come from different continents, so from a sales perspective there's great synergies as well. Yeah. So we think we can help them here, I hope, and hopefully you can help us in the US. Okay.
Well, Eric, thanks very much for coming on Trader Talk TV, our first special for Dmexco, and I hope you have a good show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kieran. It's been a pleasure.
You too. And that was Trader Talk TV, and we'll see you next time.